Welcome to Wild Encounters here at the BC Wildlife Park, a non-profit organization in Kamloops, BC that inhabits orphaned and injured wildlife that cannot be released back into the wild, which means that every animal here has a story. I'm Devrati and this is Brock, the bearded dragon, with me. Bearded dragons are reptiles, and reptiles consist of snakes, turtles, lizards, and crocodiles. I'm going to start off by giving you guys a few interesting facts about reptiles. So the class Reptilia consists of cold-blooded animals, which means that these animals rely on their external habitat or environment to regulate their body temperature. They're also amniotes, which means that their egg is covered by an external protective membrane called the amnion, and the eggs are also covered by soft shells, and this helps them absorb heat from the outside and maintain their body temperature. The bearded dragon belongs to the genus Pogona, and this has 8 different species under it. They're native to Central and Eastern Australia, and they're commonly found in deserts, dry forests, and scrublands. Let's talk about their unique physical features. So the bearded dragon lives up to its name, as it is covered with spiny epidermal scales, just like a dragon, and has a beard of spikes right under its chin. They can grow from 13 to 24 inches in length, and that includes the tail. They can weigh from 250 to 500 grams in weight, which is almost equal to the weight of 1 to 2 small apples. They have a broad triangular head, short legs, and a robust tail. Their color can range from tan to dark brown with red and gold highlights, and they also tend to change their color depending on the season or the weather. And they tend to be darker in winters, and that helps them absorb more heat. They are opportunistic omnivores and mainly eat insects, plant matter, and small rodents. Both sexes of the bearded dragon have an expandable throat pouch referred to as the beard, which turns black and expands upon display. Head bobbing is a common display shown by adult males, where they bob their head in an up-down motion with a darkened beard to show dominance over smaller males or towards females they want to mate with. In response to this, smaller males and females display arm waving motion, where they move one of their forelimbs in slow circular movements, referred to as circumduction, to show species recognition and submission. Bearded dragons practice brumation, which is a type of hibernation where they stop eating, sleep a lot more, and drink water sporadically. And this is usually noticed during winters. They reach sexual maturity by the age of 1 to 2. Since these animals are also kept as pets, the optimum temperature, humidity, and nutrition provided helps them reproduce all year round. But in the wild, mating occurs only during summer or spring. Males happen to pursue females and bite the back of their neck while mating. Females have the ability to store sperm and lay more than one clutch of eggs from a single mating. Females also dig a burrow and lay up to 24 eggs per clutch, which take about 55 to 75 days to hatch. A few fun and strange facts about the bearded dragon are that their tail can fall off, like the tail of other lizards, but it cannot regenerate. Also, the sex of the embryo can change based on the incubation temperature. An unusually high temperature can change the development of male chromosomes into female chromosomes. I think the most interesting fact about the bearded dragons is the presence of a third eye, which is also referred to as the parietal, solar, or pineal eye. The parietal eye, along with the pineal gland, are referred to as the pineal complex, and this is a photosensory organ which looks like a gray dot on top of their head between their eyes. The parietal eye has a retina, lens, and a cornea, which helps sense changes in light and detect attacks from above. It also helps in thermoregulation, which is regulation of body temperature, and triggers hormone production. Melatonin is the most important secretory product produced by this gland, which helps regulate their sleep-wake cycle. They cannot visualize images as they lack an iris and connection to the optic nerve. Bearded dragons have excellent hearing, and this is achieved by the presence of tympanic membrane in their ears. Their ears are just holes on the side of their head with no earlobes or external appendages. The tympanic membrane transmits vibrations to the stirrup bone and through to the inner ear, which transmits electrical impulses to their brain to interpret the sound. Their inner ear also helps regulate balance, and you must have figured out that their auditory system is very similar to ours. These sensitive animals suffer from diseases such as the metabolic bone disease, parasites, respiratory infections, and adenovirus infection when they're not taken good care of. MBD or metabolic bone disease is the most common disease and often affects juvenile bearded dragons. It is caused by feeding an improper diet rich in phosphorus and low in calcium and vitamin D3. The desirable calcium to phosphorus ratio in reptiles is 2:1. Common signs of this condition include swelling of hind limbs, seizures, loss of appetite, muscle twitching, which leads to difficulty in walking or moving, as well as swelling and softening of jaw, which is also known as rubber jaw. Respiratory tract infections like pneumonia can affect bearded dragons that are stressed, improperly fed, or kept in poor and cold conditions. They could be caused by bacteria, fungi, virus, or parasites. Common signs are discharge from nose or eyes, rapid or shallow breathing, decreased appetite, and lethargy. Adenovirus infection is more common in young bearded dragons and causes fatal hepatitis and gastrointestinal infection. It causes weakness, loss of appetite, and eventual death of the animal. In the 1960s, Australia banned the export of wild bearded dragons. However, they've been bred in the United States as they were smuggled from Australia as a part of the pet trade. They are bred in a variety of color morphs that are not commonly found in the wild. That reminds me to tell you guys about Brock's story. He was found in the Brocklehurst region in Kamloops and was likely abandoned by his pet owners. After our extensive efforts to reunite him with his family went in vain, we decided to take him in and have him as an educational ambassador for his species. This brings me to an important message. It is extremely important to do your research, take good care of animals, and not release them back into the wild as they do not have the survival skills for it and can pose a threat to the native species. You can instead bring abandoned wildlife or animals to the SPCA and injured wildlife to the Fawcett Family Rehabilitation Centre here at the BC Wildlife Park. Thank you for joining me, and for more information, please check out our website, Facebook, YouTube channel, and Instagram.